Hey everybody, Michael Noland here, physical therapy, getting stronger every day. I wasn't going to make a video today, but the more I think about it, this is kind of an important issue for me. So I just was on another channel not too long ago and listened to the opinions of, someone in the music industry who blames high ticket prices on the fact that we get our music basically free these days. He also went on to cite Lars, the drummer for Metallica, and his response to the original Napster type of deal, free downloading on the internet. And he was very critical of Lars not wanting Metallica money leaked away by free downloads. Now, you guys know by my past videos, I am not a big fan of multi-millionaires, nay billionaires, claiming the highest price tickets on the planet just because they have that kind of audience. I think that shows us where their hearts truly are as far as being, in my genre, rock and roll true artists. But when we get to the case of Metallica, yes, they were multimillionaires by that point. But, in my opinion, folks, that money was due Metallica, and it was being leaked away from them unrighteously by who? Well, many of us, right? Now, as far as me, I've never illegally downloaded music from the internet, and maybe that's because I'm also a singer-songwriter, and I recognize the plight that might put an artist in. But part of that isn't just because I was a singer-songwriter. Part of that was the way I was raised. You see, I was raised to do my very best to be an honest person, don't lie, don't cheat, and don't steal, don't murder, things like that, right? But, that had a lot to do with my decision not to illegally download music. You see, I felt that Metallica had earned that righteously. They had gone in, they had written new material, they had gone in and recorded new albums, they toured those new albums, they came by that money, folks, honestly. And so, when I heard this individual talking about that and cutting Metallica down, along with a couple of other things that he said in this video and has said in the past, I just felt I needed to give my opinion on the matter. Free music. He used an example that every time you go into a grocery store, you're listening to taped music, and guess what, folks? You're listening to it for free. First of all, nothing could be further from the truth. If the store is like an individual store and just playing what's on the radio, you are paying for that music by listening to the commercials in between the songs. If the store is playing pre-taped music, they are paying for that to several organizations, and the money goes right back to the artist. Now, I don't know if this person is just so used to easily procuring music that they weren't thinking that, that store, in order to play that music for them, just raised his apple by a penny or his loaf of bread by 2 cents to cover. It's called the cost of doing business, folks. And you know what? It's an honest way of dealing with it. We live in a free capitalistic society. There's no doubt about that. And you know what? I'm fine with that. That's playing by the rules. And he kind of tied all of this together as being responsible for an increase in ticket prices. I disagree wholeheartedly, of course. It doesn't make sense to me at all. He also had thoughts on the time of COVID and how people he knew who went to concerts and didn't die. I'm not so sure that was such a good thing to bring up. The whole attitude behind that statement seems a little bit sophomoric to me. Finally, just on a whole different note, I've noticed there's quite a bit of chatter on the internet about, a lot of wants and needs for Led Zeppelin to finally, do one final tour with Jason Bonham. And there seems to be a lot of articles and even YouTube videos talking about Robert Plant's hesitation at rejoining Led Zeppelin. And you know what? You guys know what I feel about, people coming back less than the full band, doing nothing but touring with no new material. I'm not really a big advocate for that. And you also know that I'm quite impressed with Robert Plant's output over the years, and happy and look forward to seeing him. Okay, but you know what? This is the one time. This is the one time. I gotta say, let's just suppose Led Zeppelin got back together. All right, for a tour. And they're going to tour the next 3 years even, pretty much what Kiss does, only they will actually play their instruments and sing their own vocals. Why would I even consider going to such a concert? And I wouldn't go see Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr billed as the Beatles. And the Beatles are my favorite band of all time. But I got to tell you, if Robert Plant and Jimmy Page, along with John Paul Jones and Bonzo's son, got back together like they did in 2007, all my scruples go right out the window, folks. I'm serious about that. I'd be in there. And you know what? I'd be tempted to even pay exorbitant ticket prices. So when you've seen me stand on my high haunches in videos prior to this regarding this exact same issue, there is a band that I would let go of my moral scruples for that one show, and of course that would be the mighty Led Zeppelin. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. So I've got a question for you folks. What do you think about Robert Plant as a performing artist? I know I'm going to get a ton of you saying that you should be with Led Zeppelin, man. And you're right, of course. It would have been so nice if Led Zeppelin had 22 amazing albums out by now. And of course, the gold ones would be with, their original drummer. The band could have gone that way, and I got to admit, I would have followed them right down that road to ruination practically. But let's get real for a minute here, folks. Robert Plant does not seem inclined to want to get back together. For whatever reasons, he doesn't want to do that. And I do want to advocate for the man in this sense. He's not standing still. He's not even leaning on his own back catalog as a solo performer that could very well be toured. What about those amazing 80s and early 90s albums, right up to Fate of Nations, that were hits for him? These were major sellers. He could tour on that alone, but he stays away from even that. He needs to move forward. And I wonder if maybe his hesitation is that he doesn't see it in Jimmy Page anymore. Jimmy Page seems to be more of a curator these days, and I hate to say that. I want to see him play. I loved watching B.B. King play right up until the time that he was, no longer playing, just prior to his death. Of course I'd love to see Jimmy playing. But I think that maybe Robert feels Jimmy would play the same old, and the same old approach. In other words, he'd still change up his solos, but that maybe they would be too safe. He certainly does not hold any bars with the musicians that he has played with over the decades. He wants the very best from all of them. We know John Paul Jones has kept up. Just give a listen to the many different incarnations of JBJ, man. So we know he's up for it. Jimmy's the question mark, I think, at this point. I hate to say that. He's not only my favorite guitarist, rock guitarist, and guitarist for that matter, right above Segovia, right above some of the truly greats for a plethora of reasons. But, and he's my favorite band leader of all time. He's my favorite visionary as far as having a vision pretty much firmly intact, and yet big enough to allow that vision to evolve, to accommodate the true geniuses that he had gathered to make this vision real. So here's my question again. Should Robert Plant just forget all of that and just get back with Led Zeppelin and tour his ass off until they can't do it anymore? I gotta tell you, that's tempting. Or do you agree with me when I'm of more sound mind? And are you happy? Are you content with what Robert Plant offers us? A general question to the tribe, folks. It's the tribal consensus that makes it so, not me in my videos giving my opinion, and that includes the first part of this video tonight. All right? I know there's folks out there that will disagree with me and will have agreed with the individual that I was talking about. You can't hurt my feelings, folks. I just give you my honest opinions. I try to do my research before I do my videos, but it's really just a question thrown out to you guys. So let me know what you think. And by the way, if you enjoyed the video tonight, give it a thumbs up. That helps support the channel. It helps the YouTube algorithm, identify the video to a larger audience. And of course, the channel grows as a result, as you guys can well testify to. And the names in front of you are brand new subscribers. I always give a shout out, but remember this, as I brought out in my last video, in case you guys haven't seen that one yet, at the end of September, in other words, as of October 1st, I won't be giving new subscribers shout outs. The job has gotten so far away from me. I did this with the best of intentions, but right now, if I were to continue this another 3 months, you'd have to wait anywhere from a half a year or longer for your shout outs. That's not only not fair for you guys, but it really isn't fair for all of us, because the time that it takes me to catch up on those shout outs actually takes away hours from me getting a video out. So I'm going to tighten things up there. I will still be, and this is the mysterious part of this video, giving shout outs to brand new members. Now, what is a member? We'll talk about that in the future, but the whole channel is ready to launch full time. That's been my entire vision for this channel right from the start, and you guys have made it happen a little bit quicker than I was prepared for. And of course, my surgery got in the way, and but I'm pretty much ready to launch out here any week now, and I'll give you a clearer picture on what that means in the future. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the tribe yet, all you have to do, folks, is tap on that subscribe to the tribe button, hit that top bell notification, and voila, you'll be notified of every single one of my videos. All right, that's the video for tonight. I'm Michael Nolan. This is The Bottom Line, and we'll see you in my next video.